Here it is, getting the lovely ram heating effect. The external tank was the only non-reusable part of this. There we are, there it is, crashing into the surface. It's normally meant to blow up in the atmosphere, but since there's nothing on the ground, then it seemed to be relatively heat resistant, so that's what happened in this case. You wouldn't want that to happen on top of a city though, or something like that. So they did design it to burn up in the atmosphere. So the space shuttle wasn't entirely reusable. That big orange tank was not reusable like the boosters in the orbiter. So here we are, completing our re-entry burn. We're trying to aim this so we get back to the space center. It's very difficult to predict because you've got the motion of the surface and everything. But this is one of my best attempts. We seem to have got our RCS tank hanging out for the bottom of the spacecraft there. That's not meant to happen. I should have put more struts or something in there. Here we are. I've judged this just about right. You don't want to know how many attempts it took to get this entry right. It was many. Let's just say that. So here we are, pitching up to try and slow ourselves down and also to distribute the heat around, but the heat wasn't distributed enough and we end up disintegrating. We had both a Challenger and a Columbia disaster now with our space shuttles. They weren't particularly safe vehicles. Partially why they were retired, although mainly because it took having a reusable spacecraft meant that although you didn't have to build a new one each time you launched it, you had to repair it. And repairing something as complex as the space shuttle actually costs much more than building something simple like the Soyuz from fresh. Here we are, we're slowing down a little bit quicker now. Returning back to the Kerbal Space Center. Got our RCS jets on the nose and the tail firing. I tried to position them as close to what they were on the original one, so we've got some pointing sideways and downwards and upwards on the nose, and then we've got two big blocks of thrusters on the back where the OMS pods are to control our descent. And here we are, we're slowing down now, we've run out of ram heating, and we're just gonna pitch down to try and arrest our descent a little bit more. Ooh, that was a lot of G-force there. I'm surprised I survived that, actually. But here we are, we're down to relatively low speeds now. This is similar to what a plane would have. I think we're subsonic now. So let's deploy our landing gear and see what happens. Okay, we're heading towards the ground. And pitch up. Pitch up. We're almost there. Just one last step. Space shuttle landing gear had to work the first time, so they had lots of fail-safes in it. Right down to sort of explosive bolts which would decouple it. But here we are, pitching up to slow down our vertical speed. And we're almost at the surface. And we have touched down, and let's deploy the drogue chute to let us slow down quicker, because the brakes on the space shuttle weren't particularly good. And there we go, I think we've made a safe landing. Tap the parachute and slow to a stop. There we go. We missed the runway, but who cares about that? We're pretty close. Yay, Daryl's happy, he's back on curving. But no! The space shuttle is rolling away! Well, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye!
My professional opinion? Haha! You should subscribe.